Happy morning to all girls. Today we are going to see what in our book University is prescribed. That is Act 5 Scene 2 from Antony and Cleopatra. Written by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born at Stratford-on-Avon in the year of 1564. He was educated at the Free Grammar School at Stratford. He had written 38 plays, 154 sonnets, and 5 long poems. He wrote tragedies, comedies, historical plays, and romance. Antony and Cleopatra is categorized as both tragedy and one of the Shakespeare's Roman plays. He died on 23rd April 1616. So now, Antony and Cleopatra is a tragedy by William Shakespeare. His poetic imagination is at its best in this play. The play is glorification of love. The play presents the Roman Empire at the height of its power and glory. The given dialogues are extracted from Act 5, Scene 2 of Antony and Cleopatra. Cleopatra does not like to be taken alive by Caesar. Proculus enters and asks her if she wants anything from Caesar. Cleopatra responds that she wishes to have captured that Egypt to her son. Suddenly, soldiers enters and sees Cleopatra. She attempts to commit suicide with a dagger, but Proculus prevents her. Characters: Activa Caesar, one of the triumvirs; Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt; Proculus Dolabella, friend to Caesar; Hera's Charmian, attendant on Cleopatra; Gellas, friend to Caesar. So, Cleopatra is a queen of Egypt. She extraordinary feminine charm. She is addressed as a hair tall, that is, she addressed as a royal of Queen Egypt. Cleopatra's mood caprices changes with the quickness of lightning. She is well dipped in dealing with heart, dealing with the men. By the charming of magic of her charm, she has made the mighty Roman generals yield to her fascination. She has immortal longings in her, and by her heroic death, she claims the honor of being called Antony's wife. Active of Caesar. He is a man of clear purpose and fixed aim. His goal shines bright before him. He is intellectual enough to achieve his aim at the shortest possible time. In his treatment of vanquished Cleopatra, he proves himself a wily diplomat. He laments with tears when he hears about Antony's death. He is a man of action. He just praised Antony to his words, and he is a great empire builder. He lacks the warmth of emotion, the capacity to devise a pleasure from life. Proculus, the one who was a friend to Caesar, he intends apparently to console Cleopatra. He assures her that her honor and her interests are safe in the hands of his master, Caesar. He is the one who has advised Cleopatra not to commit suicide. With Dolabella, when Proculus comes to take charge of Cleopatra, Proculus tells him to be kind towards her. He has a soft corner for Cleopatra. Hera's and Charmian, the two are a royal made for Caesar. Cleopatra. They both are attendant of Cleopatra. They have accompanied Cleopatra to the monument. They are the life faithful attendant of Cleopatra. They are called royal queen. They are prize her. Now, we are going to see exactly what happened in the summary of Act 5, Scene 2. Proculus arrives at the Queen's monument and asks Cleopatra's terms for giving herself by to Caesar. So she entered. So she was in monument. At the time Proculus entered, and he asked Cleopatra's terms for giving herself up to Caesar. Cleopatra remembers that at the time Antony told her to trust Proculus and tells the Romans. She hopes that empire will allow her son to rule Egypt. She wants to conquer Egypt to her son. Proculus assures her that Caesar will be generous and says that Caesar will soon repay her supplication with kindness. Meanwhile, his soldiers, having slipped into the monument, moved to Caesar sees Cleopatra. At the time when the conversation going between Proculus and Cleopatra, the soldiers were entered to seize Cleopatra. The queen draws a dagger, hoping to kill herself before being taken captive. So when the soldiers are arrived to seize the Cleopatra to Caesar, at the time Queen tried to dagger herself to kill herself before taken captive. But at the time Proculus protect her from her suicide. He orders the soldiers to guard the queen until Caesar arrives, and Cleopatra cries that she will never allow herself to be carried through Rome as a trophy of the empire trump until the Proculus told to the soldiers, and he ordered the soldiers to guard the queen. You have to protect the queen. You are all protect the queen until Caesar arrives here. At the time, Cleopatra started to cry her that she will never allow herself to be carried through Rome as a trophy of the. She never allows to Rome as to be a prisoner. She never likes to a prisoner of the empire's tramp. At the next scene, Dolabella arrives and takes over for Proculus. The queen converses with him, discussing her dreams. She sees a heroic vision of Antony and persuades Dolabella to admit that Caesar plans to display her as a prisoner of a war. When the Dolabella arrives and take over for Proculus, the queen converses with him, discussing about her dream. Her dream was she sees us a heroic vision of Antony, and then persuade Dolabella to admit that Caesar plans to display her as a prisoner. Dolabella explains Caesar goes to admit her prisoner of war. Caesar arrives and promises to spare Cleopatra's children and treat her well if she does not kill herself. Caesar got a promise. She gave a promises to spare to take care of Cleopatra's children and treat her well if she does not kill herself. She gives him a scroll that hands over all her treasures to him, and then she gives him a scroll and that hands treasures over all treasures to him, because the treasurers here is Cleopatra's children. So she hand over all the treasurers to him. So she says, when Cleopatra asks for her treasurer, Seleucus, to confirm that she has given Caesar everything. Seleucus contradicts her. Cleopatra rails against the treachery of her servant, but Caesar comforts her. So Cleopatra, when she was inquired, the treasurer, one who was maintaining all those things, Seleucus, the person one who contradicted her, Cleopatra riles against. She angers against the treachery of the servant. But Caesar comforts her. He assures her that he does not desire her wealth. She does not worth for her wealth, since he is far greater than a mere merchant. When Caesar leaves, Cleopatra admits to her maid that she doubts his intention, remarking to her companions that he is charming her with words, and Hiras and Charmian encourage her to follow her plan towards death. Confirming Cleopatra's doubt, Dolabella admits that Caesar means to convey the queen to Rome and encourages the queen to respond to his news as she sees fit. But here Caesar plans. What the main plan means? He wants to prison Cleopatra, and he wants to present in Rome as here. See how we are captured Egypt queen as a prison in Rome. So the Dolabella explains that. At the same time, Hiras and Charmian encouraged Cleopatra to follow her plan towards her death, and Caesar trying to convince him, and he gets a promise from her getting a suicide. Rather than succumb to the infamy of being a spectacle for the entertainment of 50th Roman crowds, Cleopatra resolves to kill herself. But Cleopatra doesn't like, she never captured her Caesar. So she resolved to kill herself. She decided to kill herself. She would rather die than she herself imitated by a boy actor who would portray her as a common hoe. She orders Charmian and Hiras to dress her in her most queenly robes. When they have done so, admits into her presence a clone who brings her a basket for figs that contains perhaps poisonous snakes. So, sees Cleopatra decided to, rather than succumb to the infamy of being a spectacle for the entertainment of fifth Roman crowd, she decided, being a spectacle for entertainment of a Roman crowds, she decided to kill herself. So before that, rather die than she herself have imitated as a boy actor. So who would portray her as a common whore? She orders a Charmian and Hiras to dress her look like a boy. She wants to be a boy before her death in a most queenly robes. When they have done as she admits into her presence a clown who brings a basket of figs that contains the snakes, which is a poisonous snakes. Cleopatra dressed in her finest royal garments. Cleopatra kisses her maids goodbye. Hiras falls dead, and Cleopatra takes a snake from the basket and presses into her body. She applies another snake to her arm, and she dies. As the god rushes in to discover the dead, Queen Charmian presses the snake to herself and joins her mistress in death. Dolabella enters, followed by Caesar. They realize the manner of the suicide, and Caesar ordered Cleopatra to be buried next to Antony in public funeral. So when she was dressed, it looked like she has a finest royal garments, a rich personality. Cleopatra kisses her maids. She shows her loves to maids and she conveys a goodbye. At the time, heroes fall and death on a sword, and Cleopatra takes a snake from the basket and presses to her body, and she applies another snake on her arm, and she dies. As the god rushes to discover the dead queen, they are coming soon to rescue from her suicide. But Charmin presses that the snake to herself and joins her mistress in death. At last she was died. Dolabella enters, followed by Caesar. They realize the manner of the suicide, and Caesar orders Cleopatra to be buried next to Antony in a public funeral. After that, Caesar entered and he orders Cleopatra to be buried next to Antony in a public funeral. So, Caesar orders Cleopatra to be buried next to Antony in a public funeral. He orders the tomb next to Antony. So, this is the overall summary of Act 5, Scene 2 from Antony and Cleopatra. So, once again, I'm going to explain the overall. Actually, Cleopatra back at her monument in Alexandria. Cleopatra and attendant plan their immediate future. They are discussing about the immediate future. At the time, Proculus enters and she remembers that the words of Antony that he is a trusted man. Proculus is a trusted man. She just remembered the Antony's words when Proculus enters. Proculus and Gallus are the agents of Caesar. They are the agents of the Caesar. Proculus says that her honor is safe in the hands of master. Proculus told to Caesar. Proculus said to Cleopatra, "Your honor is safe in the hands of his master, Caesar. Your honor is safe. He has given the assurance with all solemnity. He given the confident with all the or in all point of view when the Gallas ascend the monument with the help of ladder, because she was protected herself in one place. So at the time of Gallus enters, Proculus and the gods follow him. Just be kind towards she's a queen. Cleopatra. He has some soft corner on Cleopatra. So she tries to stab herself, but Proculus prevents her from committing suicide. When she aware about Caesar going to captive her, she never liked to do that. She need a honor. She wants to be a queen of Egypt, as well as she wants to die Antony's wife, unless the Caesar captive herself. For that, she decided to commit suicide to stabbing her. But Proculus prevents her from committing suicide. She suspects that Caesar aims to carry her alive Rome. She guesses that Caesar aims was to carry her alive to Rome. She knows about Caesar's aim. He wants to carry her alive to Rome. But Cleopatra won never like that. She wants. She controlled herself with a great effort of will. She controlled herself with a great effort of strength. At the time, she asked Proculus what Caesar planned to do with her. Cleopatra inquired Proculus what plans he made with her to do with me. She is told that she will be taken as a captive to Rome. Caesar sends Dolabella to replace Proculus. Proculus asked Dolabella to be kind with Cleopatra. At the time when Proculus asked her if she wants to convey any message to his master, Caesar, she responds that she wishes to die in Egypt. She wishes to die in Egypt. Proculus tried to console her. Proculus has a special concern for Cleopatra. Even at the time of leaving from monument of Cleopatra, he asked her if she wants to convey any message to his master, Caesar. Cleopatra is very firm. He is very strong. She is very strong-minded in her opinion and responds that she wishes to die in Egypt itself. She doesn't want to be taken away as a prisoner to Rome. She doesn't want to be taken as a prisoner to Rome. She wants to die in Egypt itself. This is her opinion. This is her wish to convey to Caesar. Cleopatra has a strong mind even at the time of her defeat. She is ready to die in the ditch. She is ready to die in the ditch of Egypt, or in the mud of the river Nile, instead of being taken away to Rome as a prisoner. This is her speech reveals her character, how she is. At last, she allows the clone to bring a basket of figs, contains a hares, contains snakes. She processed a snake in her body and another one in her arm. The maids are the attendants, Eras and Saman, just they fall and die. After the death of Cleopatra, Caesar arrives and orders Cleopatra to be buried next to Antony in public funerals. He asked to tomb next to Antony. So this is that where Caesar have the emotional speech while seeing the death of Antony and Cleopatra. The Antony and Cleopatra death shows that pure love. And even though he was a villain diplomat, the Caesar shows the grief on both. So he decided and buried each other next to in public funeral. So this is the overall story of Act 5 and Scene 2. In this, we can realize how the Cleopatra's character she performed. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any doubts regarding this video, just ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching.